This conflict started with the slaughtering of 1,400 people, the worst day for the Jewish people since the Holocaust. In the Israeli perspective, if they don't figure out a way to fundamentally decimate Hamas once and for all, it will permanently and perpetually be a threat to the state of Israel, to its people, and to its security. Israel seems to have made a decision that it's probably going to engage in more counterinsurgency, smaller operations types efforts, which was really the recommendation of the United States and something that was not originally planned at the beginning when it looked like Israel was going to have a major ground force. That counterinsurgency type effort means that you'll have more precision strikes and you'll have fewer innocent civilian Palestinian deaths. The flip side is it means it will probably make this conflict go longer than it would otherwise. Israelis aren't thinking about this in weeks, they're thinking about this in months. And that's going to be a challenge depending on whether or not it can have the support of the US the entire time to keep the international community at bay. The US's key goal right now is to try to prevent the conflict from broadening into a regional war. And so the US has emphasized deterrence against Iran and against Hezbollah specifically, with the US putting carrier strike groups into the Mediterranean, into the Persian Gulf. But I think there's also a message being sent here that it doesn't mean that those strike groups won't also be used to strike Hezbollah if it becomes involved in the war. Having Hezbollah join the fight will completely change the nature of the conflict given its extensive weapons inventory, which is so much more advanced than Hamas's. But there's also risk from West Bank Palestinians who are increasingly frustrated not only with the Palestinian Authority, but with Israel. There's increased risk of having Iraqi Shia militants who are backed by the Iranians attack US forces, as we've seen lately over the last few weeks, leading to US strikes in Syria just last week in retaliation. As it goes, there's also a potential for the Gulf to be implicated. As the Houthis decide, they have an opportunity now to take advantage of the situation and press their own position in Yemen. We've already seen Houthi strikes that have been intercepted heading for Israel. It can only get worse. Then you're at risk of a real regional war.